But first, I want to start with these talks being dubbed as semi-official. And when I say semi-official, they're talked about tier 2 talks where you have either former government officials, people in the know, people tied to government that are going in over to China, talk about the use of nuclear weapons if China was to invade Taiwan, and would they use nuclear weapons if they were to fall victim to Taiwan or start losing to Taiwan. China, same thing. They say they have all these officials that aren't really in the government, which I don't really buy, because if you're talking on behalf of China, you're going to be connected to the CCP, I would imagine. I could talk to you about that. But China says, no, we're not going to use nuclear weapons with Taiwan, but we guarantee we would win if we went in there, so it's not going to be a problem. I guess the first question for you, Aila Wang, is what do you make of these talks? Do they really mean anything? And what's really at play here?
Absolutely, Grant. When we're looking at these official talks on, and you were 100% correct, any of these representative that were sent to those talks were absolutely connected with the People's Liberation Army and the Chinese Communist Party. It was no doubt that every attitude and every sentence and statements that they make, even in the semi-official talks, was pre-scripted and agreed upon the People's Liberation Army. And so when they said that, they have absolute confidence in winning to invade Taiwan, that they are they meant to it, that it shows everybody that they're ready to invade Taiwan at any time, and they present that full confidence to the world. The problem with the nuclear weapons is, if we look at, the overall military strategy of the People's Liberation Army, you found that the Chinese Communist Party support not only mainland, but also, along with many other countries, of strengthening their nuclear powers under the guise of civilian projects. And that was whistleblowed, by Mr. Mao Guo and all of the supporters of the new federal state of China months ago. The problem here today is that if we look at any of the nuclear, development project sent out by the Chinese Communist Party, and even with, friendly countries that had been, participants of Belt and Road initiatives, these countries are target countries for the Chinese Communist Party to extend their nuclear networks. So when we're looking at, if China promises not to use nuclear when invading Taiwan, or to count, how many nuclear powers that China may has, the problem today is that we should not only look at the numbers in mainland, we should also look at how many nuclear projects, right? Some of could be, civilian project. Some of them could be under the guise of scientific and national security project. All these projects could be served heavily for military use and extended nuclear powers for other countries as well.
Yeah.